Alright, hi, hello, how have you guys been? I know that technically I'm like very behind on what I said I was going to do for videos to start off 2023 with a bang, going real hard on the videos. I realized that if I'm gonna talk with my hand, I need to do it up here above the nipple line. So right now we are on the floor in front of the yarn cubbies. This is the desk, this is the couch, this is usually where this is where I'd been sitting for all of the Vlogmas videos that I meant to do, all 3 of them. So then my desk is here, and then we have another cubby that is mostly fabric with a couple of books. And then there is a hole, and that is where all of the bags with my really large projects are. There are 2 blankets. All of the baskets of Christmas themed yarns are down in there. Yeah, so first of all, I am sorry that I did not finish out Vlogmas and that I did not like do any videos in January at all. Long story short, the week leading up to Christmas is always really hard for me. And I also got my period that week this last year. And then like things just kept happening and I was not feeling like myself like at all for basically the whole last half of January from like the 20th onwards. And I didn't really get out of that until like the 12th of January. So yeah, there's that. I've re-dyed my hair since last we spoke. My hair is frizzy as all hell, but if you're wondering, this is Arctic Fox's Virgin Pink. Yeah. It's not necessarily my favorite hair color, but it is the dye that I had in the thing, and we went to the Ren Fair a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and I just wanted to make sure that my hair was. So the January video was supposed to be a knitting in the new year video, and basically it was supposed to be me explaining to you what my 2023 knitting and making plans were. So we're gonna do a little bit of that, but it is also now February 2nd. So I've made several things in the past month, but I'm not going to share those right now because a lot of them, like, they're gonna look best if I try them on. And I am home alone today because it is very difficult to film while my partners are here, just because one of them is likely streaming and or filming himself, and the other she has now started a it's a receptionist office job, but because of the clients for the office, it is decently high stress. Apologies, I'm trying not to look horribly slouchy and stuff, but it's okay, it's whatever. So high stress, she's been Oscar. So if you did not watch the 3 Vlogmas videos in the last year since there was a podcast, I've adopted another cat. His name is Oscar. He's 20 years old and he used to be a street cat, and he just wants to go back outside. So I have the porch door open right now, but I have like a piece of plywood pinched between the like door jamb and the door itself, so he can't like go through the screen door or open the screen door, because he does know how to do that. Anyway, so yeah, the first video in January was supposed to, no, wait. I was talking about my makes. Basically, I need help filming that because there isn't really a good spot in the house for me to film myself full body standing up. So that one might wind up being like a photos out in the wild, and it might wind up being a since you last saw me and a tour of what I've made. So like ultimately that's 2022 and a bit. But so it is now February 2nd, 2023. The 2023 making plan, so knit, crochet, and sew, are thus. Let me pull it back up. So this is my like bullet journal for making. So you have the month, the birthdays, the holidays, and then the make-alongs. And basically what that is that for smaller holidays, like Valentine's Day, I should be knitting the month before. Did I knit any of my pink things? Did I sew any of my pink things in January? No, absolutely not. It's fine, it's fine. We're back. So instead of making everyone something for their birthday, I'm going to start their Yule Miss present on their birthday. And I think that this will work out just fine for me due to the fact that the person who I am knitting a sweater for this year, my dad, has the earliest birthday in the year, February 9th. So on February 9th, I have to cast on his sweater. I have done the gauge swatches. I've caked up some of the yarn. It's gonna look like a mess because I am the kind of person that unravels my gauge swatches immediately after. So this is actually, I kept this one. What's really funny about this one, so this is Wash's sweater on Ravelry. I will try to remember to link it below. And it says 16 stitches is 4 inches on size 10 needles. And then they give me the millimeter size of those needles and they say it's 5 3/4, 5.75 millimeters. All of my 10s say 6 millimeter. I don't even have a 5 3/4 millimeter needle. Yeah. So, but I tried it on a 10, I tried it on a 9, and then I went down to a fucking 8 before I got gauge. So yeah, this is unblocked, but the 10 I had like 12.5 stitches to 4 inches, and the 9 I had 14 stitches to 4 inches. And generally speaking, blocking just makes your stitches bigger. So if your stitches are already too big and then you block it, you know? So I went down to the 8s. I haven't blocked it yet, but pretty certain that this is it. So Wash's sweater, if you don't know, Wash is a character from Firefly and Serenity TV show and corresponding movie from the 90s, early 2000s. My parents are absolutely, specifically my dad, but like, I think it's really good too. And there are 2 episodes in which the character Wash, who is the pilot of the spaceship, wears a cabled sweater. And my dad has always wanted a cabled sweater, so I thought, why don't I knit him that one? So I thrifted this yarn. Here's what it looks like in a nice cake. And here is a skein. And it is this. Hopefully this winds up being the right way around for you. I don't know. So it's Candide, I think. Candide. Heavyweight, 100% virgin wool, made in Canada. And then water repellent, color fast, moth proof, shrink resistant. 190 yards, approximately 4 ounces. Color 1, lot 22. Yeah. So, I came up with a bit. Oh my god, I need to recake this one. So yeah, no, I caked up 3 of them, and then there was like a bit, and that was what I used for this swatch. But apparently they're all tangled together because I am a chaotic little gremlin. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 skeins. So round about 1,000. I don't, well, no, it's actually closer to 2,000 yards than it is 1,000 yards. Right? That's how that math works. So on the 9th, I will be casting that on. And that one will be a long-term project throughout the year. I think the only thing that I need to figure out is getting myself a longer size 8, I believe. Maybe not. I don't know. The washes, sweater, Gansey. I'm doing it in the round because F that noise on seaming a sweater. I'm already putting enough effort into it with making it cabled. But like, we can skip on the whole effort of seaming it afterwards. So I'm gonna set that to the side and not put it back in the little cubby there. So that's that. Then we have Valentine's Day. So for the first 2 weeks, I will be trying to make as many pink things as physically possible. I cast these socks on yesterday. These are the V for Valentines by Ellie Jones, which, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe is Craftcast magic. And this marker is where I got to yesterday, so I got through 20 rounds of ribbing. The pattern is free, and it says 18 rounds of ribbing, and it was literally 2 rounds shy of being 2 inches. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do 2 inches of ribbing, you know, and then the 5 rounds of stockinette you do before you do the lace. And today I finished the heart and started the V. I will probably finish the V, do the rounds of stockinette I want to do after, and potentially start the first heel tonight. Depends on what we watch, because if we watch anything with subtitles, I will not be, sorry, Oscar is being suspicious. If we watch anything with subtitles, I won't be able to work on the lace or a heel. And this is some ChemKnits Creations hot pink hand dyed I bought ages ago. I bought it with this one, which is, I'm still working out how exactly to make perfect cakes with my ball winder that I got for Yule. We're working on it. I think at this point I'm leaving a little bit too much out in the middle because I like to make center pole. So originally I got this nice hot pink one with this, with the intention of doing the Golden Garden socks. When I tried, there was sadly not enough contrast between the two, which is really kind of like a bummer because like you look at them and you're all like, oh yeah, that'll be fine, that'll be perfect, I can do this. No, bitch, you cannot. I think my rule moving forward for color work, if your main color has speckles, your contrast cannot be any of those speckles. But I'm thinking about doing, out of the Knit Picks Toasty Toes book, I believe is what it's called, or A Year of Socks, basically. It's a Knit Picks book. They have 12 sock patterns. Each one is themed for a month. Oscar is again being suspicious. They have a February one that is hearts. It is a very busy pattern, so it might not wind up being good for this ultimately kind of busy speckle. Yeah, there we are. Yeah. So it might not be that. It might actually, I have this one from Knit Crate, rip, that is sparkly and has, it's basically just white with hot pink speckles and sparkles. And so this one might wind up being the Valentine's Day Toasty Toes one, and then this one might wind up being some sort of stripe type color work with what's left over from this one. I do not know. This one I had originally set out for the Wandering Rose pattern, which is a free charted pattern, and I had to pick it up. Well, everyone just lost open door privilege, which sucks, because I was enjoying the breeze. Anyway, I had originally set this one aside for Wandering Rose, which is a Steven Universe inspired pattern. That's like lace and cables. I don't know, I might actually use this one for that. Again, depending on how busy it turns out. I'll have to swatch, which I hate swatching. If you're wondering what all of this is, it is reclaimed, approximately fingering or sport weight pink cotton that I got out of a scarf. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it right now, but it's pink. And there's actually a pretty decent amount of it. So we'll figure that out later. So the other project I have on the needles right now that is pink was what was supposed to be my Yule cast on. And then I think I wound up actually casting it on Christmas. Is a sock head hat with this very pretty yarn that I bought while my mom was visiting me last year. It's a Lana Grossa yarn. Boop, boop. And I believe the colorway is Jira, I believe. Yeah, and it's 80% wool, 20% polyamide. Again, no idea if that's going to turn out the right way for you. But it is very, very pretty. The cake is, again, very messy. So please forgive. And it is like kind of micro striping. The like undyed color. The undyed color with a really pretty berry sort of color, and then it has a warmer hot pink, a bright blue, and like what probably is going to wind up being a fluorescent yellow speckle. And I'm just really excited to see how this turns out. Now, my mom visited last year in March for around her birthday, just after her birthday. And this yarn sat in my stash for nearly a year because I was all like, oh, I don't know what sock pattern I want to use that on. And then I realized that it's kind of too nice to put in my shoes. So I cast on a sock head hat. You will notice that it is not this. The black is just Patent Croy black. Yzma is now on my desk, so things are gonna start falling down. So I only started on the main color last night. in like the last 20 minutes of whatever it was we were watching before we went to bed. Well, okay, I know what we were watching, but like the last 20 minutes of it. So initially, part of the reason why there is a whole bunch of yarn barf is that I had cast on just with this, because I'm like, oh, this is a 100 gram skein. I don't need to use a contrast for the ribbing. It'll make the whole hat. I wound up hating the way this yarn looked in the rib. I think I'm gonna really like it in the stockinette. So yeah, this is the sockhead hat. I'm making a size small, and instead of knitting 3.5 inches in the brim, I only did 2.5 because I was bored of knitting 2x2 rib in black while I was watching a TV show in Turkish. So yeah, there's this. So my plan is to finish, I'm gonna knit this while we talk. My plan is to knit and or crochet as many pink things as I possibly can between now and Valentine's Day. I have one other sewing project, yeah, that I absolutely want to do as well. No, I don't remember where I put that bag. But it is a hot pink mesh with hearts on it, and I want to make like a long sleeve, just sort of layering piece, because my my outfit idea for Valentine's Day is I have this black velvet sundress with like spaghetti straps, and I want to wear that hot pink mesh top underneath of that with the V Fair Valentine's Day socks. And I don't know what shoes I'm gonna wear because all of my shoes are a little bit loud, with the exception of my Doc Martens sandals, which are white. But I'm like, well, do I really want to wear socks with sandals in Florida? People are truly going to judge me in Florida with that nonsense. So, really quick, I'm gonna move myself. Yeah, excellent. So there are, in fact, 3 more cubbies, because this is one of those 9 square cubbies. There are 3 more. Basically, the one that was directly behind me, so bottom of this one, is the timeout bin for anything that is, I have to frog it. I have to figure out what I'm doing with it, or is just straight up not working at all. Then the middle one on this one, I don't have a cube for, so this is where projects that have larger projects with tote bags, like my dad's sweater, and this one. And then this one is just scraps and like weird shit I'm confused as how I'm going to ever use. So, previously I had this sorted by weight approximately. So this had all been socks. These 2 had been garments. This one had been, these 2 had been garments for myself. This one had been garments for other people. This one had been acrylic in the like worsted DK bulky, so the 3, 4, and 5 weights. And then this one had been acrylic, or like other like random fibers that were like more difficult to use, so like the pom-pom yarns, eyelash yarns, stuff like that. And then this one had all been cotton, like dishcloth cotton. So recently what I did is I went through and I kind of did them by color or by theme. So right here we have Halloween. So as you can see right there, we have 3 of the 4 Hobbii Halloween sock colorways I got. 2 like new 2 solids to go with those, a pumpkin colored yarn, etc. Those will be coming out in May, because for at least Halloween and Christmas, which are my 2 favorite holidays and the holidays that I like to do the most for, I want to start the things for myself and for the house 6 months ahead of time. So, and then we have the blue one, the blue bin here, which is the Pisces Season Make Along, which is hosted by Kalisha of Quirky Monday Crafts podcast. So in here we have a cardigan. We have the water bearer cardigan. We have a fingering weight, the yarn for a fingering weight ranunculus. I've had this printed out since 2020. Okay, I really need to knit this. I just caked these up the other day, and part of the reason why I caked them up is because I'm like, well, if I cake them, I'm more likely to use them. And I'll feel bad about not using them if they sit caked for too long. Logic. Yeah, this is a Quirky Monday Crafts project bag. I bought this 2020 as well. I think that it's supposed to be leaves, but it like looks like mussels to me. So I'm from Whidbey Island, so like Pen Cove mussels. I don't know. I love this bag. It's empty because I don't know which pair of socks I'm going to do first for this. This one is dishcloths and washcloths that are blue. So I've got some Red Heart Scrubby, some Sugar and Cream in a coordinated color, and then this one is, I believe, Sugar and Cream Scrub Off, or it's Peaches and Cream Scrub Off. Either way, it's the one that has the cotton scrubby yarn and the like just plain worsted weight cotton on one hank. Yeah. So I've got those two sweaters. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of socks for myself. I've got a pair of socks for my little brother. And I've got a pair of socks for the Goblin King in here. And then also, so this is the wife bin here. I also have a really nice bright blue cotton that I was making her tank top from, and I don't like the way the tank top is going, so I might unravel that tank top and make another one. So the wife will also have a gift. And then there's also this, which is a bucket hat that was too small for her. Somehow. But that's this bin. So this is the Pisces Season Make Along, which starts, I don't remember. She said the dates in her last podcast. She's probably made an Instagram post about it. But basically, as soon as that starts, I'm probably going to start with the water bearer. And yeah, I'm probably going to cast on the water bearer, a pair of socks for myself, and I don't know if I'm going to try and make the Goblin King socks for his birthday, because he's a Pisces as well, an end of February Pisces, or if I'm just going to cast them on his birthday and have those be his Yule gift. My little brother is also a Pisces. Sadly, he won't be visiting this year for his birthday, even though it's his 21st birthday. I was very excited for that, but he might be visiting later on in the year, so that solves everything. But I will be starting William's socks, who is my little brother, on his birthday. Then we have the purple bin, which we have, that's True Boo in there, and that's for a tank top. It's either 2 of Wands. I think it's 2 of Wands. There's also the other designer who has a very similar aesthetic to 2 of Wands and always partners with Lion Brand. But there's a t-shirt in there. There's some 5-weight chunky, some 5-weight velvet yarn. There's I think that one actually still has its ball band on it. Yes. Oh, but I spilled coffee on this one apparently. Sugar and Cream Scrub Off. I had to order these online from Joann's. There's the colors. This one is Light Breeze. Yeah. This one's my least favorite of all of them, and that's why that one's not already sorted into the way I do the washcloths. We've got a random cotton in there. We've got, oh, we have a what is this one? It's the bralette top, everyone's favorite one. I have to take it apart, knit 2 of the cups, the amount from 2 of the cups of the yarn, the amount of yarn from 2 of the cups into the length of the body, and then reknit the front 2 cups and then the straps, in order for this to be wearable for me. Because it, like, I followed the math and everything, and I guess I just, like, didn't do it, like, right or something. Anyway, but the purple is probably not going to be gotten to for a bit. And then the pink, because pink is my favorite color, has 2 bins. We have a pink knits and we have a pink crochets. And we have a whole bunch of things going on in there. So we have down here in the pink bin, we have one of the Hobbii Halloween that is very pink, and because I am definitely a spooky all year round type of person, I don't much care that it is Halloween specific. And then we've got a whole bunch of like pink and pink self stripings and stuff in here. We've got speckles. So basically, here we go. This is going to be February and March. First half of February is all pink. Then second half of February and first half of March is blue, blue-green, watery, oceany. I might be able to get away with some purples. I just knocked a pen off with my hair. But I have 1 that I know for a fact is Animal Crossing themed, and 2 that are probably Animal Crossing themed that, if I don't manage to get to them within, you know, this time frame, I want to be able to do in the second half of March, because March 20th, which I believe is the last day of the Pisces season make-along, will be the 3-year anniversary of Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is insanity. So right there in the middle is the Island Getaway sock set from Teeny Button Studio. Right there is the Lily of the Valley 50-gram sock set from Mace of Skeins, and here is the Cherry Blossom 50-gram sock set from Mace of Skeins. So I definitely want to get that one done by the 20th so I can wear it on the 20th. This one I want done for the first week of April, because if you play Animal Crossing, you know that the first 10 days of April are cherry blossom season in-game. I live in Florida, and I don't live, like, near to Orlando or anywhere fun like that, so I don't have any, like, Japanese gardens, so I don't have any sakura trees. And they used to be one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, because literally the entirety of Washington decorates with them, like, insane amounts, because, like, every other town in Washington is freaking, like, a sister city to a town in Japan. So, like, they'll have, like, a weird, like, it'll just be, like, totally, like, super out of place. They'll have one of those, like, Japanese-style park lanterns. You know what I'm talking about. And then there'll be a plaque, and it'll be, like, gifted to us from such and such in our sister city, Japan. And, like, Oak Harbor, my hometown, like, the entirety of the high school, almost all of the trees, if they aren't pine trees and they are planted on school grounds, if they aren't pine trees, they are cherry blossom trees. And then I believe that a good section of Highway 20, which is the main road in the middle, that goes right through the middle of town, is also lined with cherry blossom trees. They're important to me. I miss them. Anyway, so those are the only ones that I have, like, a distinct, like, I want them done by. The Lily of the Valley one, I think I might just knit during Pisces season for funsies. Yeah. And then in here in the crochet, I have more dishcloths and washcloths. These ones are pink and blue, so I think I might be able to get away with crocheting these ones in the Pisces season make-along, just because there's blue to them. Dishcloths, not so much, but I do want to have at least the dishcloth, the pink, one of the two pink dishcloths, because I have a variegated pink and a solid hot pink in the Red Heart Scrubby yarn. I want to have at least one of those all made up, so we have Valentine's Day scrubbies. And then the wife bin. The wife bin is that bucket hat, that tank top, and then this, which is Red Heart Aspen print, I believe. And I've got 2 skeins of it, and I want to knit her a little sweater vest. We are at nearly 40 minutes, and I am not entirely done yet. It's okay. It's okay. We can zip through. So I have yet to find a pattern that I really like, because I want cropped, like 1 or 2 inches positive ease, if not like bang on ease, no, so 0 ease. I want it sleeveless, I want it v-neck, and I wanted to only use 2 skeins of Red Heart. Yeah, 2 skeins of Red Heart. And I've yet to find a pattern. And bonus points if it's free. So if you know about a pattern like that, that matches these criteria, I would love to know, pretty please. So the final project, and this is something that I will be trying to work on during Pisces season, and this is part of the reason why there are no crochets in here, with the exception of those like washcloths, dishcloths, is because one of my very favorite crochet designer, pattern maker people, inspirations, is Morale Fiber, Regina Wes. I'm not great at names. And one of her most popular, like, I don't know if it's like, I'm pretty certain it's gonna be in like the top 5, but I wouldn't be able to confidently say it's top 3, is the Pixie belt pattern, or Pixie belt recipe. And I love making them. I've made the wife's forest fairy, the wife's mermaid. I made mine like a bi-flag neon witch, accidental bi-flag neon witch one. I've recently finished a pastel purple and gray 100% cotton one to go with my Mandala. Basically, it's a big freaking circle vest, hooded vest, which is also a pattern from Morale Fiber. So that I have that as a Ren Fair outfit. And then I also made one that I'm calling Sunshine and Rainbows, which is very intense, and I made a hooded shrug to go with that. And the cotton one and the Sunshine and Rainbow ones that I just told you about, I am also working on crop tops for, where I have the yarn to make crop tops for, but I've set those aside because I want to do my pink and my blue makes before I get to that. But one of those pink and blue makes is a mermaid themed pixie belt for myself, because I don't think I'm going to keep the neon bi-flag witch one. I think I'm going to sew the things that tore. Some of the pockets just like fell off while we were at Ren Fair a few weeks back, and I think I'm just gonna try and pass it along. I think, honest to God, what happened with that one is that I made it too big for me, which is something I've noticed that I keep fucking doing, is like, you know, I'm not small. okay? I'm not small. I'm not small. I wear like a large t-shirt and I wear a size 14 jeans. I'm also not massive. Despite what today's outfit is trying to tell you. You know? So, I don't know. I've got a 36-inch waist. It's not tiny and it's not huge. It's kind of the maximum end of what I'm used to my waist being. I'm used to my waist being 31 to 38 inches. So, anyway, I made that one too big. I want to make myself a mermaid one so me and my wife can be mermaids at Ren Fair together. So, I thrifted a scarf that was this yarn. Very beautiful, very, very powerful. Sorry, there was a Facebook notification and I'm like, is that from one of my crochet groups or is that from one of my family members? Do I need to pay attention? But this one, and so it's blues, purples, and purpley blues. And I ordered some yarn off eBay that is a darn good yarn to go with it that literally might be in the mailbox right now or might be a hair's breadth away from being in the mailbox. But my darn good yarn January subscription came in and this is the first time I ever had this one. I used to get the Knit Crate RIP. I don't smell it unless I like shove my nose into it. And it smells clean and it smells like something exceptionally familiar. Maybe lemongrass? I really don't know. And part of the reason why it probably smells like obnoxiously familiar is because I used to work at Earthbound Trading Co. And they try very hard to have the same vibe that Darn Good Yarn actually has. Also, Crunk really likes the way this one smells. When I ordered this, when I like signed up for the subscription, they had a half off the subscription. So I'd go check that if you're interested, if you're still here. It smells really good. And this recycled silk yarn is like obnoxiously soft. So this one's called Mist, but for whatever goddamn reason, my dumbass was like, oh yeah, we'll just get one. Just one. So, I don't know. This one might wind up being not in this one, but it might wind up being like some sort of like small little neck scarf kerchief thing, because it is so soft, it's not even funny. But it is also like $75 yards. Why? They were offering me half off. Why did I get the 1 pack? Why didn't I get the 3? Anyway, I have since come to the conclusion that I'm going to be getting the 3 pack, which is only $25, which is pretty good considering the price of the rest of their yarn. Tries to figure out if my hairline is actually back farther. I don't think so. Anyway. I'm gonna be getting the 3 pack. I have an extra skein on the February one because the extra skein right now is showing the January yarn. So hopefully it'll be the January yarn and not the February yarn. I have no idea how that works. If you know, tell me. I'd love that, please, thank you. But I've got a whole bunch of different yarns. They're just little bits and bobs. I think this is probably this one and this one are probably the only ones I have that are like full skeins and are going to look like full skeins, even though I ordered 3 skeins of I don't remember what it was, but the colorway was mermaid scales, it was a sport weight, and it was a thick and thin. This one is most likely a red heart. This feels very, very familiar in the colorway, and I used to literally, like, not necessarily a wall, but I used to have at least one of each Red Heart colorway that the Walmart in Oak Harbor in my hometown sold. At least one of each, sometimes 2 or 3 on like the black and the Monet and all of the like ones with neon. Yeah, anyway. This one is a loops and threads, cotton colors. I don't remember what this one is, but they don't even make this yarn anymore. It was like a spring summer 2020 thing. We've got most of the rest of these are going to be thrifted. We've got this guy, which is like 2 different shades of blue, but like a lace weight with a fluffy. I've got this fun ribbon yarn. And then I've got a velvet yarn, which is left over from a sweater I knit for the wife for Yule. Oh, and I got this one too. This one's pretty cool. I don't know if this one's gonna wind up in this project because it's a very dark blue and it has purple and goldy brown and green in it. And I don't know if it's gonna wind up going. A lot of these, there's so much more in here. A lot of these are probably not going to wind up going with the mermaid scale yarn, and since I'm going to use that one as the focal point yarn, for my wife's mermaid one, I made a large sort of triangle, like hip scarf kind of shape out of, it was a roving style, and it was either Red Heart or Lion Brand's like thinner roving style. It's like boutique or unforgettable or whatever it is. Landscapes. It was a thinner one, so it was like almost a 3, but they were classifying it as a 4 because the roving had a halo. So yeah, so that is another one that I'm definitely gonna get done for the Pisces Season Mal. I have some mermaid tail print fabric that I want to turn into a sweater sized project bag. I've got some blue fabric that I want to turn into a skirt to go with the Sunshine and Rainbows set. I think I might have some other blue, purple, oceany things to make into project bags as well, but that is that. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to me for 40 minutes, 48 minutes and counting. But I think that there's gonna be a few times where I can just cut cut some time out. Yeah, so that's that. That is the few things I'm working on and what I plan to be working on for the next 2 months, thereabouts. I'm not going to guarantee that I will remember to come back in a month because we haven't bought the tickets for my dad yet, but my mom's tickets have been bought. Yes, they are still together. Initially, it was just going to be my mom coming down for work, and so her bosses bought the tickets. So we have to buy the tickets for dad. But mom, at the very least, will be showing up on the 12th of March. And then isn't leaving until like the 27th, something like that. 2 weeks later on a Monday, basically. So that might put a very major hamper in any of my more complicated knits from happening. So I think potentially what I might try and do is try and put my more complicated Pisces Season Mal makes in the first half of the make along, and then whether that winds up being the entire make or just the complicated section of the make. Because like the ranunculus, it's lace and then it's like stockinette until you're tired of it, right? So I might try and do like the lace yoke of the ranunculus and then have that for like TD knitting when my mom is here, my mom and dad are here. I don't think I can do that with the water bearer. Maybe the sleeves. Maybe if I get to at least the sleeves, I'll have TV knitting. Most of those socks, because they're tonal and like tonal-ish with speckles. That one right there is a hand dyed I did myself, which is very fun. I know that I've shown that one 1,000,004 times in the past, so I'm not going to pull it out to show you. Almost all of the socks are going to be pattern socks, with the exception of the Patons Croy socks for myself, the ones for my brother, and I think the ones I'm doing for the Goblin King are just going to be ribbed. So all 3 of those are Patons Croy in various blue. I think the Goblin Kings are cadet colors. Mine are turquoise stripes, and then my little brother's are that one that's like a teal, a purple, a dark blue, and a gray. But it's not striping, it's like patterning or something. That one. It's in there. And we're gonna choose a gray, a black, a dark gray to go with them as the mood takes me. So, I've talked to you way too long. I really appreciate you being here and spending approximately an hour with me. I'm going to go get back to knitting on my very, very pink socks. And I suddenly changed it from my like very chipper, upbeat voice to my calm radio host voice. Which when I go into the calm radio host voice, you can tell that like I'm kind of sick. I have no idea what my problem is. I think it's allergies. Because I have not felt bad enough to feel the need to use one of the COVID tests we have in the cupboard. But like I'm worried that I should. Yeah. So hopefully I will try my very, very best at the end of the month or the beginning of March to come back, show you what I managed to get. I might not be able to do that because I might be too busy prepping for my parents to come. So you might get one beginning of April. And it'll just be a 2-month bumper crop episode. Yeah. Hopefully sometime before my parents come and before the like major rush for them to like get here, I will manage to do that like trying on all my makes from the last year video or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how I want to do it. But bye-bye. See you later. I will shut up now.